Hi, this is Dan from Real Mac Software, and it's Friday again already, and that means it's time to see what's new in RapidWeaver Elements. Now, this week we've made a lot of progress, and there's a lot of amazing things we're working on, but some of them aren't quite finished yet, so I can't show them to you this week, but in the coming weeks, there's some absolutely mind-blowing stuff. So you've got that to look forward to, but don't let me put you off of this video because we've also got some very cool stuff to show you today. So let's talk about SVGs. In the past, it's been a bit cumbersome to add SVGs to your site, and they've kind of been used, they're a bit like second-class citizens, you know, they haven't had the support they need. So what we're doing in Elements is we're upgrading that, and we're putting SVGs alongside JPEGs and PNGs so that they have full drag and drop support. You know, a lot of apps and solutions force you to copy and paste code around for an SVG, which is really not nice, and no one wants to deal with that. So let's get started. Now I'm going to select the nav bar here. Now this is just the Real Mac site, and I'm building it in RapidWeaver Elements, of course, but I'm kind of putting it together as we go so we can test out features, and it's a great test bed. Now I've got a missing image here, and that's because I've removed it for the sake of this demo. So let's get that back in place. Now I've got the Real Mac logo over in my resources here, and I can just drop this over here and it gets placed up here in my menu. Great, that's great. And it's an SVG, and that just works. Now, what we thought would also be cool is if you can color the SVGs and add strokes and things like that. So what we've done is I can just enable fill on this, and it will use the color that I specify in here. Now, as you know, you can specify colors in the theme studio, and I've set these up. So I've got a Real Mac brand and a RapidWeaver purple and a squash orange, and then a load of default colors. And so in here, I can just click on this, and we're going to use the Real Mac brand. And you'll notice over here, the color changes, and I can just do this, and I can pick a purple. You can see that there, or an orange. So it's really, really simple. Now let's make this logo a little bit smaller, because there we are. That looks a bit better proportioned there. So that's in the nav bar there. I've added the Real Mac logo. Now if we scroll down to the footer, I started to build this out, and when I first started building it out, I was just using text boxes, and text boxes aren't great if you want to do these lists, and they're essentially linked lists. So this week we put together a new element, and I've got a linked list here. Now all of our elements are obviously still in development, and the UI is not polished, and there's missing features, etc. But you know, you'll get the gist of this as we go, and it all works. So I've got this linked list here, and if I go to here, you can see in our layout tree, I've got a linked list, and if we expand that, then I've got all the little link items. And for now, I'm just gonna, we don't want to add those. I'm just gonna delete these because I just want to work on this one here. And what I want to do is I want to say join our forum. I want to copy that, and I'm going to paste that into our link item there. And you'll have to excuse the plus symbols. They're temporary and they kind of get in the way at the moment, but we're going to implement a little bit more of an elegant solution there. So just ignore that for now, because this is obviously in development. So we're aware of this. And right, let's get back on track. So I'm building up this link list, and I want to add some icons here. Now I can drop them into here, but what we really want to do is add them to our resources area. So I went to Font Awesome, and I downloaded a bunch of SVGs, and I've got them here. I've selected a bunch. Well, I can take my icons folder, and I can just drop it in here, and it adds the folder, and I've got my icons. And of course, like we saw before, I can rename these, like, you know, if I want to call this icon on the end of there, whatever, we can do all that, and we can manage these from here. And so I've got join our forum, and I want that one. I think we're going to use that one. Yep, and it's a little bit small. So with the SVG, we can just resize. And remember, SVGs are vector, so they're scalable, and they look great at any size, but obviously that is too big. So let's go about 24. And I can adjust the spacing here a little bit. That looks good. And again, we want the colors. So I'm going to select that as a Real Mac, brand color, and that's for the normal. And then for the hover, we want Real Mac brand, and for the text, I want Real Mac brand, and again Real Mac brand there. And when you hover, I want it to go slightly darker, so we'll do that. So now you can see when I roll into that, it's getting a little bit darker there, which is great. So that's my join the forum. Now we need to make some more of these. So I'm just going to duplicate this and there, and let's duplicate this a few times. There we are, because I want, because next we're going to do subscribe to the newsletter, which I just want to copy there, and I'm going to paste that in, and then we'll do follow on Mastodon, and I'll paste that in there, and subscribe to YouTube, and paste that in there. Now I'm going to delete the text box because we don't need that anymore, so that's gone. That's in a flex item there, and we don't need the flex item, or actually I want to put my linked list inside of the flex item because that's how I'm managing the layout here. So but you don't need to worry about that at the moment. So I've got my things here, and we just need to update these icons. So let's go back to the resources and subscribe to our newsletter. Now I'm going to use the envelope there, and subscribe to YouTube. I'm going to use the YouTube icon, and then follow us on Mastodon. On that one, I'm going to use that. So we've got that put together, but they're a little bit far apart. So I'm going to bring those closer in together. That looks pretty good. And I've obviously got some work to do on these ones, but I won't make you watch all of that because you've seen how I can do it. Now, and this is using a flex item in here to lay out the a flex box to lay out the items. So in the top flex item is the community header, and then in the second flex item I've got all the linked list. So I can choose the layout of those, how I want them arranged, but we can also change the gap, the area between the two flex boxes, you know, so I can easily create a little bit of space there. And building the site this way is super flexible. So they're just like that. I've created my little linked list, and they're all they all change when I roll over them. And this is all using the Real Mac colors here. So you can see that's on blue. I'm using all this on blue. And again, the amazing thing is, if in the future Real Mac ever changed its kind of brand color, I could select another color and the whole site would change. All these things I'm setting up now, you know, if next year we decided to go to a rather jazzy orange, it would be a matter of just picking a new brand color, and it would and everything would update. So it's, when you set things up this way, it's super flexible and super powerful. So yeah, so that's a little look at the new linked list and the SVG support we're adding into RapidWeaver. And you can see how this is all coming together, all these separate elements like the resources, how it makes sense to have them there, and you can just see them and drag them across here, and the theme stuff, it's all starting to work together. So hopefully you start to get more of a feel for our vision of RapidWeaver elements and where we're heading with it. So a lot of these things are in development, and it's kind of a lot of different things are changing, but we have this really clear vision of where we want elements to go, and it's going to be super powerful. If you think this is amazing, you wait until you see what we're working on now in the next couple of weeks. I hopefully going to have something that'll blow your mind in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, so let us know what you think of SVG support. What else do you need? Is there anything else you need, or is that great? You know, you just want SVGs to work and you want them to drop in, and that's exactly what they do. Is there anything we're missing? What do you kind of need when you're building sites with the SVG support? All right, let us know in the comments what you think about this, and yeah, give us some feedback, because the stuff you say really helps us shape elements as we go forward. So yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon for the next one. Thanks again for watching, really appreciate it. Bye.